Hi, and welcome to Clapier. In this video, we learn how to use the audio block available in Clapier. The audio block allows users to record and submit audio clips directly within the app. This can be useful for capturing voice feedback, reporting incidents, summarizing meeting notes, and much more. Let's see how this works with a simple example. Now, in my dashboard, I've already started to create an app called Incident Reporting. So I'll just go to that app. I've just added a few fields, and let's say I want my users to provide detailed voice descriptions of incidents that they might report. So for that, I'll add an audio block to this app. We'll start by going to Design App. You can see all the earlier fields. Now I'll click on Add Field and select Audio. This block can be configured on the right-hand panel. First, I'll give a name to this field. Let's say Incident Voice Recording. Next is Description. Whatever description you type in here will appear at the bottom of the audio block. You can type in some helpful information for the user, or you could just leave it blank. I'll give in a description. And then we have max length in seconds. This sets the maximum duration for the recording. By default, it'll be set to 30 seconds. The minimum is 15, and you can record audios up to 300 seconds. So if I were to set it, let's say to 60 seconds, my users can record up to 1 minute of audio. And then finally, we have the required option. If I enable this option and I save this, you can see this block is now denoted with a red star mark. Enabling this option makes this field mandatory, meaning users must record an audio clip before making a submission. You can also see the description that I've added has appeared at the bottom of this field. I'll just correct the spelling and resave it. Now let's take a quick look at some of the advanced options. Here we have maximum number of files allowed. I can set how many audio files a user can submit in the app. The default is 10 files, but you can change the limit. So I'll just change it to maybe 2. Then we have file name prefix. This allows me to define a prefix for the audio file name. Usually when the audio is recorded, a default file name will appear on the app. If you want to give it a prefix, you can type in your text over here. You can either give in static text, like so, or you can pull in values from the app itself. So, for example, if I want to use the site name as a prefix, then over here in file name prefix, during submission, if I want to pull up the value dynamically, here I'll type in @ and this pulls up all the fields from this app. Type in the field name, which is site name, and I'll select this. We'll get to the next options in a bit. First, I'll save this. And now that we've saved the changes, let's see how this looks like in App Home. If I scroll to the bottom, here you can see the audio field with the label and the description. If I were to make a submission without recording an audio, and if I click on submit, an error message appears because this field is required. When I tap the record button, the recording starts. Once I reach the 60-second limit, the recording will automatically stop because I set the limit to 60 seconds. And the audio will be automatically uploaded. You can stop the recording at any point before it reaches the limit. Users can also delete their recording if they want to and re-upload a new recording. They can also play the recording back to ensure that the details have been captured. Now, what if I would like this block to appear only during a certain condition? For example, if the resolution priority is selected as priority 1, then I would like the audio block to appear in the app. If the resolution priority is selected as priority 2 and there is no need for the audio block to appear in the app, such display conditions can be given. So going back to Design App, first I'll just save this draft to keep the recording. Now I'll go back to Design App. Now for the audio block's right panel under the advanced option, we have display this field if. Here you can give in logic and conditions similar to spreadsheet. If you are familiar with spreadsheet, you can give in conditions like if, else, or etc. Clapier shares a similar library. But in place of cell numbers, we have the concept of variable names, which you can pull up over here, just like I did for the file name prefix. So with display this field if option, you can set conditional display of fields in your app. Now, as I mentioned, if the resolution priority is 1, then the audio block should appear in the app. So over here, since the if condition is already mentioned, I will directly type in @resolution equals to priority 1. We also get the option retain value if hidden if you give in a display condition. I will leave this enabled. In most cases, you leave this option enabled so that if the field becomes hidden, if you've changed certain conditions later on, the recorded audio isn't lost. Now I'll save this and go back to App Home to check it out. Now, if I scroll to the bottom, you will no longer be able to see the audio block. And if I click on priority 2, you will still not see it. But if I select priority 1, the audio block appears. There is already a file recorded because I had saved the draft earlier. Now let me make a submission. I'll just give in some random details. I filled in some details in this app, and you can see the site name I've mentioned as site A, but over here in my audio recording, since I've given a prefix to capture the site name, it has not appeared over here. That is because this is an earlier recording prior to giving a site name. So that's something to keep in mind. If you have configured prefixes for the audio block, which captures value dynamically from other fields, then those fields need to be entered first and then the audio. So let me just delete this and start the recording. Stop it, and you can see the site name is now pulled up. So one workaround could be giving display condition for the site name as well. So if the site is mentioned, only then should the audio block appear. Or if it depends on multiple criteria, you can give in multiple conditions as the display condition. Now I click on submit to make the submission. You can view all your submissions under the submissions tab. Users can also view their submissions if they have the appropriate permissions. In the submissions tab, I can open a specific submission, view all the details captured, and play the recorded audio. So I can just click on this link and then play this. If you have configured the audio block to allow multiple files, you can add more recordings by clicking the record button in the right panel. So if I simply click on this again, you can see it has started to record, and I'll stop this and another file has appeared. You can now see that this block is grayed out because I've configured the audio block to accept only 2 files. I can also delete existing audio files if needed and again re-record. However, if you do not want your users to make any changes to the audio, then you can configure the block accordingly. So if I were to go to Design App, and again under the Advanced option, we have the option Allow value to be changed after initial submission. If you disable this option and save it, users will no longer be able to make any changes to this block in the submissions. I've opened the same submission and you can see the audio block is now grayed out. They will still be able to play the recording, but they will be unable to delete it or add new files. Now this feature also works on the Clapia mobile app. If you haven't downloaded it already, you can do so either on Play Store or App Store. And the moment you create any app, it'll be live and ready to use on the mobile app as well. So let's check that out quickly. Over here, you can see my mobile screen with the Clapia app downloaded. I'll go ahead and click on it. Since I have multiple apps, I'll just click on the search panel to search for the app. And as you can see, the app is live and ready to be used. Now over here, if I select priority 1, the audio block appears and I can click on the record button to capture audio. The audio block is useful for capturing detailed voice notes, whether it's for incident reporting or any other use case. It works seamlessly across the desktop and mobile, including in offline mode. When users are back online, their submissions will automatically sync and you will be able to view their submissions over here. This feature is only used for recording audio. If you wish your users to record a video instead or maybe upload images, you can use the camera images and files block instead. The audio block is only used for submitting live audio recordings. If you have any questions or need help in configuring this block or on any other feature in Clapia, you can always request support by clicking on the button over here and select the appropriate option that is convenient for you, and we'll get in touch. Thank you.